Most days you can find me in the morning sitting on my screened-in porch, looking out at two aspen trees. Most days, that's my meditation. I want to share with you today how I make my life a meditation. It may not be what you think. I'm not walking around with my finger and my thumb together. I'm not walking around chanting Om. I'm walking around and moving through the day and moving through my life, paying attention on purpose, building focus, building awareness. And that's what meditation is. It's a way for us to get to know what's happening in this moment, in this very now moment. My name is Kara Bradley, and this is Sparked. I'm a teacher of mind-body practices, and I've been teaching yoga and meditation for many, many years. I see it in so many people. They've tried and they've failed. They've downloaded the app and they've quit. They want to meditate, but they really don't understand what it's all about and why they should even be doing it. Meditation in the Tibetan language is the word Gom, G-O-M. Gom simply means to become familiar with or to get to know. So we can meditate on many, many things. We can get to know and become familiar with so many aspects of our lives. And just doing that helps us to build awareness and build attention and find ourselves present in the moment and not caught up in our heads. So most people, when they come to meditation, are taught to focus on a few anchors. So an anchor in meditation is something that you are landing on. It's where your mind is landing on. And for many, many people, those first anchors of meditation that they're introduced to is the breath, the body, sensations, thoughts, and emotions. Right? It makes sense. Sit down, close your eyes, focus on your breath, focus on sensation, focus on your thoughts, focus on your feelings. I think that one of the reasons why so many people try and quit is that is really close. It's really close to us, right? It's in our bodies. It's happening all the time. We get frustrated, we get distracted, we think we're failing, and then we stop doing it. And when we stop doing it, we throw the baby out with the bathwater, and we don't even allow ourselves the opportunity to really understand what it feels like to be present, to become familiar with, to get to know. So the way I have made my life, in many ways, a meditation, is to change those anchors. Sometimes I use the traditional anchors, but more than not, I'm using anchors that are outside of me, that are easier to focus on. So one way is to focus on those two aspens right outside this screened-in porch. I'll sit down with my coffee in the morning and I'll look at these trees and I'll become familiar with and curious about all different aspects of those trees. I'll notice the way the light hits them at different times of the day, whether it's cloudy or sunny. The greens look different. I'll notice how the bark looks on a given day, whether it's wet or dry, if there's sun on it or not. I'll notice how the wind moves through the leaves. And what's so beautiful about aspens is that they also make such a beautiful song when the wind is moving through them. So there's so many things for me to notice about these two trees. And that helps me to build awareness. It helps me to sharpen my ability to notice. And that's what meditation is helping us to do, is to become more familiar with what's happening right now. So when I use the tree as an anchor, it's helping me to gain more awareness, and then you can change your anchor at any given time. Sometimes I use driving as my anchor for my attention, which is not a bad thing, by the way. No noise, no music, no podcasts, just me and the road and the other drivers and what is happening around me. Placing my attention on the anchor of driving helps me to become more astutely aware of what's happening. If I'm speeding, when I'm slowing down, when somebody's cutting me off, all of those things. It helps me to build awareness and build attention. So remember that meditation is this practice of getting to know a certain aspect of our lives, of what's happening right here in the moment. I also do this when cooking, especially soup, when you're cutting up all kinds of vegetables, right? Just paying attention to the process of chopping vegetables, stirring the soup, reading the recipe. It builds my awareness, it calms me down. So when I've worked with athletes on mental strength training, I use all these different anchors in our day to sharpen our focus, to build attention, to get to know, to become more curious. Where can you place your attention today? Maybe you don't want to start with the traditional anchors, the breath, the thoughts, the sensations, the feelings. Eventually, you'll make your way there. I think for many people, starting with traditional meditation, mindfulness practices is almost too much. Our minds are just not trained, right? It's so easy for us to get distracted, especially when our eyes are closed and we're just focusing inward. So my recommendation is to focus outward, is to make your life a meditation. And just like I do, just focusing on your surroundings. Maybe it's a tree or what's happening in your backyard. Maybe it's the sky. Sky is always wonderful. If it's a pure blue sky, there's not a whole lot to focus on. But if there's some weather happening, you can focus on the moving clouds and the changing of the sun on the clouds. So in many ways, we're trying too hard when we start with traditional anchors such as the breath, the body, feelings, and thoughts. Make it more simple. Make it more real for you in your daily life. And choose one thing and you focus there for 15 minutes, maybe it's 5 minutes to start. The benefits of a meditation practice, whether it be a formal practice or it be kind of an ongoing rolling practice throughout the day, is that when we are focused on one thing, when we're dropping our attention into the present moment, it grounds us. We feel clearer and calmer. We feel more steady and alert. And it builds capacity. It builds the capacity to do this more often. You may find yourself driving without any music on because that's where you can really find your ground. You may find yourself sitting in silence in the morning more often, just staring out at your surroundings, or cooking in quiet and using these opportunities to practice meditation. So once again, meditation is that practice of getting to know that anchor, getting to know that one thing that your mind has landed on. So give it a try. Let me know how it goes in the comments. I'd love to hear. I appreciate you listening all the way through to the end. Please make sure you hit subscribe and like, and I'll see you next time.